Hello, welcome to my YouTube channel, Lady D Psychic. This will be the video that I do every week where I talk about the transits of the week. I also do a card reading and I do a channel for my guides. So for this week, it's all about Mars. So last week we had that full moon in Capricorn. On the same day we had Mercury retrograde and we had Jupiter going to Leo. And before that happened, we had Mars going into Gemini. And I did say about travel plans, and I thought it was planes, but it was the roads. We had, I know in Australia, we had some really horrific bad car accidents, and only every day this week, I've had traffic issues coming to and from work. It has been a bit of a nightmare. Um, so, and see what happens this week. But this week we have a really big transit happening on the 4th of July. So it collides with the same day of America celebrating their 4th of July. So in Australia, we don't really celebrate Independence Day. It's not a holiday. But, anyways, we have this big transit of Mars, the planet of action, the planet of war, conjuncting with the planet of Uranus, which is, I always say Uranus is unexpected, unusual. So it's really hard to predict with Uranus what's going to happen because it's going to keep you on your toes. It's going to be a surprise. Some unexpected things can just happen. You don't know what's going to happen with this. You might be feeling, I know this week, sort of part of this week, been feeling like an anger, sort of coming up within me. And we're dealing with Gemini. It's in Gemini, so we are dealing with networks with other people, with communication. I feel like it's going to be how we see things and how we relate to others, how we want to express ourselves, also about who we want to align ourselves with as well. And I know a lot of astrologers are saying this is going to be like an earthquake. I mean, yes, I'd say yes if it was in Taurus. But now that we have both of these planets and now in Gemini, it's an air sign. And it's more about people and our connections and who we align with and who we're going to network with, who's on our team. That's what Gemini is more about. That's that social aspect of Gemini too. So I say it's about who's on our team, who we're going to relate to, who we're going to be with. So on the world stage, there could be some things in war happening because Mars is the ruler of war, and there could be tensions escalating in the Middle East. I don't think it'd be like a natural disaster. I mean, it may be, but I don't think so. Yes, if it was in Taurus, but now in Gemini, I know more about people. Might be more about, it could be bombs. It could be, it could be some sort of attack. It could be a cyber attack potentially as well because Uranus is ruled by Aquarius. So, in every case, it is going to be a shock. It's going to be some surprises. It could be a positive experience and it could be a negative experience. It could be some confrontational experiences when we've got this Mercury retrograde. So, it might be pushing you to having some kind of aggression or anger or frustrations, and you're verbalizing that to people. And again, with that Mercury that's in Cancer, so it'd be something about your home, your family, what's making you sort of unsafe and not because Cancer want to be nourished, they want to be make you feel safe and secure. So it could be bringing up those things or something that's really ticking you off, you want to sort of escalate or say something to. These are the things that could potentially happen with this transit. And we've got a lot of transits over the next couple of days that are all about Mars. So it is going to be all eyes on Mars. It is going to be a very interesting week. I keep on feeling like it's going to be like shock. So I keep on getting this as a shock, 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 shock. And anything can happen. It's like last night, I got a client contacted me wanting to hire me out for a venue for the celebration for tomorrow. I'm going to do it. There've been some negotiations, but it was unexpected. And it can just be anything. So see what happens. I do think with this transit is about being versatile and flexible, resilient is going to be a big thing for this transit. On the 5th, you're going to have Mars. It's going to be in sextile to Neptune. I feel like that is going to be, we've got Neptune in Aries. So that might bring about an aggression or sort of worry when it comes to like leaders. I feel like it's also about calling out people's bullcrap as well with that transit because when we're dealing with Neptune, we're dealing with some kind of delusion. There could be a dissolve, so there could be energy of less anger perhaps too. But that's going to be a positive aspect. When we're dealing with sextiles and triads, they're more positive in a square. So they're working with each other, not against each other. So I feel like it might give you it might give you a calmness, but Neptune's in Aries, so again, see what happens. We got Mars also going to be in trine Pluto on the same day, so and this is on the fifth day after the fourth. So that is dealing with power. There could be something this weekend that ends, but if it ends, it's a positive ending. It's about ending and re-beginning or readjusting, reassessing of things. There could be a power play that happens as well, but again, it would be a positive experience. Or you may think at the time it's not positive, but then when you reflect down the road, you'll think, "Oh, that was a blessing in disguise." So these are the things that are going to be bringing up this week. We've got on the 6th, so this is when we come back on Monday. So we've got the Sun in square to Saturn. That is going to be a bit of a problematic day. It's going to bring up some problems, going to bring up some uncomfortableness. We've got the Sun in Cancer. We have that Saturn in leadership. There could be some problems facing different leaders around the world that might find themselves in boiling water or on their faces. And then on the 7th, we got that Neptune going to station retrograde. We are coming into an alignment later on in the month where we're going to have a lot of the outer planets all at 4 degrees of the sign that they're in, which will be, I've got Pluto already at 4 degrees. We already have Neptune at 4 degrees now, but it is going to be sort of stationed direct. So it will sort of stay on that 4 degrees mark. And then you're going to have that Uranus is going to move to 4 degrees and with Jupiter as well. It's going to create a cradle. So you've got these planets that are like creating, in a way, it's kind of creating a trine a little bit too. Like it's going to be creating a sort of interesting pattern. And with that, it's going to be an interesting. We're still going to be Mercury retrograde as well, so it will be an interesting alignment. But it's more towards the end of the month when that starts. Well, what I got coming up for this week, that there's shocks, which I've already said. I feel like now everything happens for a reason, and I feel like that is something that you've got to remember this for this week. It's about staying calm, not overreacting, just see what happens and then act later on. Um, this is like knowing that you're right. So this could be a thing where I always say when people say you want to be happy or you want to be right, and I always pick I want to be right because I feel like if you choose being happy, you're not really being happy. You're selling yourself out. That's how I see it. But I also feel like this is all about working things out as well for this week too. I think it is going to be rather an interesting week ahead. And I do feel like it's going to be a lot about expressing yourself. And it's going to be feeling a little bit unstableness as well. And I do feel like there's going to be some interesting things happening around the world with this a lot too. It could affect money, could as well. All right, let's have a look at the cards and see what the cards. I'm going to do the cards. I am drawn to my angel cards, so we are going to use these cards for this week, and then I will do a channel. So let's have a look and see what we get with the cards for this week. So let's have a look. Okay. All right. Let's see. Okay, this card is about breaking free. I feel like it's going to be about breaking free of limitations of what's holding you back. It's like it's time to act, like a time to call, time to action. I do feel like that this will be about, I like certain relationships may crumble, some may rise. I think you're going to be reassessing things. I think that there's going to be people this week as there's a it's like this is like a balance thing. I feel like there's going to be some let down, but there's some that are happy. But I feel like there's this thing of this week where people are like, I'm better than you, and like they really sort of have bringing out the ego coming out here. So we're dealing with this the rest of this year and coming next year with this Jupiter in Leo. It's the ego is coming out, and I feel like some people are going to feel like crap. But there's this "I told you so" thing that's going to happen. I feel like there's this thing here of relationships where you want what you can't have, and what you think is an ideal relationship may not be ideal. There's also an aspect here of doing it all, like trying to fit it all in, trying to get everything done. trying to please. Look, it even could be that you are having a, a day or a feeling where you decide that you cannot please everybody and that you're wanting to sort of break free of, say, being a slave, but um, of being sort of the punching bag for people, like you're taking a stand. That could also be coming up for this year. This card, whenever I used to do like weekly spreads of myself, I don't do it anymore, but I used to. This card I used to go, oh, because I used to think this card is about worry. Um, there's a thing here of things destroying around you, but if you see, just what stood out at me is that the angel's wing is like there for protection. So it's like, even though things may seem like it's falling apart around you, there's protection there that maybe you're not seeing, or maybe you're trying to get comfort into other people. I think that this is, I do feel like it's a week of new beginnings, but I feel like it's within yourself. And I think that it's going to be about pride in yourself. But it's all, and there's this thing I feel like to, like who you associate with, like I was saying about who you're connecting with. It's like, for me, with my business and things that I do, um, if I don't agree with your values, if I don't like what you're doing, I won't work with you. And I find there's especially in the spiritual industry, a lot of hypocrites, and you'll see them. They will go behind the person's back. I don't like them either. They will talk about them, but then they'll go and work with them because of it may get them ahead, or may, whatever. Um, but there's this thing where I feel like no more is that going to work for you, because this is all about who you're aligning yourself with. And I feel like there's an element that's going to be there of trust. If you work with a person, is people going to trust you? And saying that, I feel like that you could be giving birth or something new. There's going to be lines drawn and boundaries blurred. I think there's a thing here walking away. There might be of a contract, or this could be a soul contract, or it's like contract is done. And it's like, and sometimes, you got to keep the peace. Sometimes if you're in a group situation, you need to keep the peace because of whatever you're doing. And sometimes you've got no choice, but you always got to work with integrity. This is about your communication being like clearer. I feel like there's going to be a bit of a spitefulness happening around you this week too, and I feel like you're having to navigate through the jealousy or the spitefulness, where people are where they align. I think there's a lot of questions about who's aligning with you, who's in the same category, or who do you trust. I think that these are all things going to be coming up, but also you want to break free. I also think that it's about revaluing. Um, it's like I've got this event on the weekend, and I've had to, I had to come down a little bit, and I had to negotiate, but I'm looking at the bigger picture as well with that. I also kind of felt bad for the person, and I know I don't want to don't like people letting people down. That's my thing. It's my Capricorn. I think it's my Aquarius and Capricorn moon. I don't like letting people down. So that's something that, yeah, maybe it's something I've got to work on too. But anyway, I do think that there's going to be a lot of people that are let down this week. And I think that there will be people walking away from other people. There'll be a change of who's in what team. We could be looking at change of allies. We're looking around the world. I think that it is going to be a shock what happens. Um, road rage could be a thing. Could be a thing with Mars and hooking up with Uranus there. I would say, I'm not going to say to Americans don't go out, but I would be aware of your surroundings and be aware of what's happening. And I would come up with a plan if something does happen, a plan of what to do. It's like whenever we would go to the Easter show when I was younger, we'd always have a meeting spot. So if you got lost, you would always go to this meeting spot, and people would be there. So I just think just have plans. I'm not going to say don't go out and not have fun. I'm not going to say that. I just think that there's going to be some interesting things happening around the world, and I keep on hearing shock, shock, shock. So whatever happens, it is going to be shocking. And I don't think it's going to be a natural disaster. I think it is going to be something on land. I do think it's going to be more towards war. I think that it's going to be more about conflict, but who knows? It could be a strength. So just wait and see. So just wait and see, then you reassess. And also you got to remember, we have a soul contract, we have destiny, we have an alignment. Mm, So, whatever's meant to be is meant to be. Whatever the planets have in store for us, I always say, whatever the planets have in store for me, whatever the planets have in store for you, I think there will be a sense of grace that comes into this as well. Okay, let's do a channel for the week, for the week ahead, for this big transit that's coming up. Okay, let's have a look here. What we get. This conjunction is going to bring a universal upheaval for you all. For you're all going to go your merry ways and have celebrations and have fun and think that nothing is going to be the same. We always say this, but you guys don't wake up. You guys don't listen. You guys don't see what's actually happening behind the scenes. It's like now the curtains are drawn and you'll see what is going on. Blatancy, lying, the universal law is changing. The countries are changing. The people in power are changing. They're all in it together, for they are all in it behind the scenes, for you are not aware of actually what goes on. We see everything, we know everything, we hear everything, plus that we also designed everything. We know the greater plan that is to come. You all have been spirited and you all have high spirits. You all are spirit and you all as one. For this weekend will bring about many shocks for you all. There'll be many upheavals and up downs, for there will be a clash of collisions on the road. There'll be people inspired for new thoughts, new ideas. There'll be things out of this that are born out of the ashes, kind of like the phoenix, but at the same time a bit different. You'll all think that, how can this happen? For others will be like cheering it on. Whatever happens, it is meant to be. It is planned and it is meant to be. For some people might seem it's horrific, some people might think it's brave, and other people might be inspired by what's to come. Never the case, it is a change of a new beginning. It is a change for what is to come. The new beginning has always been, it has already been started. You just haven't seen it properly yet. For the people who are more in tuned, have always been aware, but now it will be exposed. For whatever happens, just be patient, wait for the dust to settle, and then you will react. So, where I'm going to be coming up, so I am proud to, I think I announced it last week. So, I'm going back to Christchurch, New Zealand. We're doing a 2-day workshop with Psychic Pinup. We're doing a psychic development on the 29th, Saturday 29th, and then we're doing a true crime forensics workshop on Sunday using astrology and also our intuition psychic mediumship skills, which is going to be very exciting. We're very happy about that. And then on the following weekend, we're doing the fair, Mind, Body, Soul Healing. It's a holistic fair. We're doing that on the following weekend. That's in the first weekend of September. I'm at Flamingos Live on the 17th of July. It is booked out. I am next at Chaos to Calm on the, is it the 18th of July. So Central Coast, I will be up there. So we're putting that up this week on social media. I've also got a link now on my website. If you want to book in, it will take you to that website. And I'll be at the Mystic Market on the Sunday. So that weekend, I'll be up Central Coast doing 3 events on that weekend. And then in October, we got the MBS in Sydney in October. So I will be there with a lady called Sharon. So will be great. And I think that is all that I'm doing that I can think of at the moment. For our American viewers, happy 4th of July. For everyone else, happy weekend and happy Saturday and happy week that we've got coming up. Let me know what happens with you with I know with me last week when I said about the that you would have to confront things. I know I did have to confront things with a friend or that I had that actually had asked, and I was honest with them. I had a conversation and I was honest with them. They didn't take it on board, but I was honest with them, and that was hard. Now sometimes it can be hard to be honest with people. Sometimes it can be awkward, but I did it. This weekend, I think it will be, or this one, I don't know. It is going to be quite interesting. I have been feeling, like I said before, I've been feeling the anger with some things building up in me, with certain things, and it's just the planets, the energies. So I always say, whatever the planet has in store for you. But anyway, we'll come back next week and See what happens. Maybe put a comment below how your week was and see what, we can reflect on together. But anyways, thank you for your likes, shares, and your comments, and I will see you for my next video. So bye for now.